So we learned about 5 theorems, right? One of them was side angle side. So in this section, we're deciding if the triangles are congruent by side angle side. That's literally it. In the first one, you need 2 sides and an angle congruent. Where does the angle need to be to have side angle side? In between them. So in the first, we have 2 sides and an angle. Is this angle in between the 2 sides? Yes. On both triangles, it is a yes. So this is side angle side. So it just says, is it side angle side? So yes. Decide whether there's enough information to have side angle side. This one's a yes. This next one, we got 2 sides, congruent to 2 sides. Do we have any angles? Yeah, we got vertical angles. So is this angle touching both the sides? No. So is this side angle side? No. It would have to be in between them. This next section, we are deciding if they're congruent by side, 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 or hypotenuse leg. Hypotenuse leg only works for what kind of triangles? Right triangles. And where's the hypotenuse always located? Across from the right angle. Good. And then the leg is just one of the remaining sides. So this is a leg, but also this is a leg, just for you to know. So in this first one, do we have right triangles? So no, it's definitely not hypotenuse leg. Is it side, side, side? Yes, so we got 2 sides. Where's the third side? The shared side. Good. So, yeah, this is side, side, side. We're not going to explain because we don't have time to explain. It won't ask you to explain on the quiz. Number 5, it's a right triangle, yes? Are the hypotenuses marked congruent? No. This is the hypotenuse, and this is the hypotenuse. They are not marked congruent. So it's definitely not hypotenuse leg. Is it side, side, side? No, because, again, we don't have 3 sides marked congruent to 3 sides. So this is just no. Is it even side angle side? In one of them it is, but it has to be the same in both. It's not corresponding in both, so it's still a no. And then number 6, we have 2 right triangles. Are the hypotenuses congruent? Yes. The hypotenuse is the side they share. So that looks a little different. And then they have a leg congruent to a leg. So this is hypotenuse, a leg. Questions about this section? Bless you. That was a cute sneeze. How cute! Number 7. In the first triangle, we have 2 angles and a side. In the second, we have 2 angles and a side. Are they angle, side, angle, or angle, angle, side? Angle, angle, side. That side is not touching both the angles, so it is angle, 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 side. Number 8, we have 2 sides and an angle. 2 sides and an angle. This one says, decide if there's enough information to prove the triangles are congruent. So any theorem is up for grabs. Is this side angle side? No. It is not. This first one, the angle is not between the 2 sides. So this one is a no. And then number 9 actually has a lot of answers. I'm going to tell you your quiz will have 1 answer and 1 answer only. But what triangle congruence do we see? We see angle, side angle for sure. That's one of them. For all of these theorems, you just need 3 pieces of information. We have 4, which is why we're going to have a few extra. What else do we have? We got side, angle, side. We have 1 more. We have angle, angle, side. The third side isn't congruent for side, side, side. We have all 3 of them. I'm going to let you know right now on the quiz, you'll just have 1. So I know the angle, angle, side a lot of people don't like because you have to ignore one of the sides. Bless you. But all of them we had to ignore something because there are 4 pieces of information. You need 3 for each of these theorems. So these are the 3 that are possible. Number 10, we're going to, you see the word prove? We're going to prove. All right, so your statements go on the left, and your reasons go on the right. What do we start our proofs with? Our givens. Good. So this first one's long, but it says BD bisects, where are we at? AE. That's a given. And then we're given angle A is congruent to angle E, also a given. For these proofs, it is best that we figure out what we're trying to prove first and then actually prove it. So we know that angle A is congruent to angle E. They already put that in the picture. But what does this bisect help me figure out? BD bisects AE. So not all of them. If BD bisects AE, AE is bisected, right? So you're correct. AC is congruent to EC. That's what that statement tells me. You could say CA and CE. I haven't written it down yet. We haven't written down anything. What else is not in this picture? Vertical angles, right? Vertical angles are congruent. So what are we trying to prove? What theorem are we trying to prove these triangles are congruent by? Angle, side, angle. So let's look to see what we have already. We have angle A is congruent to angle E. So we already have an angle. So we need a side. And we said that, what do you want to call it first? AC? CA? What do you want? AC? So we said that AC is congruent to EC. And then that's because bisect means it's cut in half, right? So you can literally say, because of the definition of bisect, a bisect, or you could say bisect means you can write out the definition. Bisect means you cut a segment in half. So then last we need our angles. What angles did we mark congruent? Right, but can I call it angle C?
AC and EC.
Correct. So if we say ACB, so we said A first. A has the one arc, right? Yeah, so it's going to be ECD. And then again, our reasoning were they were vertical angles. So we have angle, side, angle. We've proven that. You don't have to write ASA down the side, but it just helps me keep track of have I actually proven it. But we just proved the triangle ABC was congruent to triangle DCE, and we proved it by angle, side, angle. So again, you do have 2 of these on your quiz today. We're going to do another one just as practice. And it's on the back. We'll do these first. Decide whether there's enough information to prove the triangles are congruent by one of the 5 theorems. If so, state the theorem. So this first one, it looks like we got a lot going on, but one of them does not really help us. Can anybody guess which of these congruence marks does not really help us? The 2 lines. Is that the whole length? It's not. It's not whole side length. So it's just there to throw you off, so you can kind of ignore that one. But we do have an angle, congruent to an angle. We have those right angles. And then we have a side. So it's either angle, angle, side, or angle, side, angle. What do we think? Angle, angle, side. The side is not between the 2 angles. Number 12, what do we have marked congruent? We got a side, we got an angle, I hear you. And then what else? The shared side. So for it to be side, angle, side, the angle needs to be touching both the sides. Is that angle touching both the sides? It is not. This is a no. .13, what do we notice about these 2 triangles?
There's one
There's a right angle, and it's vertical, right? To this right angle. So if they're right triangles, what should we always ask ourselves? Is a hypotenuse leg. Is the hypotenuse marked congruent on both of them? Yes, they have the 2 tick marks. And then is a leg marked congruent to a leg? Yes. So it is hypotenuse leg. This next one, again, how many pieces of information do we have in each triangle? We got 4. So we've got a lot going on, which means we are going to have more than one theorem. So what is one theorem? We see side, side, side. That's good. We see side, angle, side. That's good. There's one more. Correct. We got hypotenuse leg. The hypotenuse is the one with the 3 marks, and then obviously there's a leg congruent to a leg somewhere. This next one is harder to see, so I'm going to kind of take them apart. These are 2 triangles in one. There's that one. And then, I don't know, do I need to rewrite the second one, or can you kind of see it? We can all see it? Good. All right, so what do we have marked congruent already? We got an angle and angle, right? There's one other thing that's not marked congruent. A side, right? They share this side, both of them. So that means that side is congruent to itself. I know that's not the normal way we see a shared side, but it is there. So we have 2 angles and a side. Is it angle, side, angle, or angle, angle, side? Angle, angle, side. Good. Number 16, what do we think? Angle, side, angle. Good. That side is between the 2 angles. We got 3 more. Number 17. It's a no. Why is it a no? Because the sides aren't in the same place, right? So the first one looks like angle, angle, side, but the second one looks like angle, side, angle. So they're not corresponding, so this will be a no. There aren't really any trick questions, I don't feel. Just make sure you're always comparing. This next one, we got 2 angles. What else do we have? A shared side. So is it angle, angle, side, or angle, side, angle? Angle, side, angle. And then last, this one is a very tricky question. So it is one of them is a right triangle. Do we have any proof that the second one is a right triangle? No. Before we had, beautiful. Before we had vertical angles, which is why we knew the second one was a right angle. Here we don't have that. So we're going to disregard that right angle. What theorem do we have then? Side, side, side. That's it. That's all. This is the last one we will do together, and it is another proof. So go ahead and make your 2 columns. Statements on the left and reasons on the right. We could start with our given. AC bisects BD. Segment AB is congruent to segment AD. Also given. And then we need to do stuff. So we got to figure out what we're proving this is congruent by. The AB and the AD we already knew about. What does the bisecting mean to me? It says AC bisects BD. So what's going to be congruent? BC and DC, that's good. And then what is the last thing that is just understood? The shared side. Good. So what are we trying to prove this triangle is congruent by? Side, side, side. Good. So to start, we already have, I'm going to kind of write it backwards. We already have a side, right? We have AB is congruent to AD. That was given to us. What is another side that is congruent? We just said a lot of letters. BC and DC, that's good. BC is congruent to DC. And then what was our reasoning? How did we know they were congruent? Correct. The definition of bisect. And then our last side is the side they share, right? So this is when you have to figure out if you have to, when you write that AC is congruent, it's either congruent to AC or it's congruent to CA. So either these triangles are mirrors of each other or one is flipped. So are they mirrors or flipped? Mirrors. You can also see that in the congruent statement it says AC and it corresponds with AC. So AC is congruent to AC, and then what property is that from? Reflexive property. Running out of room. And then what did I just prove? Correct. Triangle ABC is congruent to triangle ADC, and then our reasoning is side, side, side. Good. Questions, comments, concerns?